And welcome back to the live coverage of the Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Media Day, downtown St. Louis at the Enterprise Center. Harry Schroeder with you. Roger Powell, the head basketball coach at Valparaiso. So excited you're in the league. So excited for what you're doing. You've had so much success in everything you've done. And then you come to, I don't want to call it a rebuild. That sounds disrespectful to the former team and so forth. But to a team, you have to kind of just rebuild. Talk about that challenge.
It's an opportunity. I don't look at it as a challenge. And, I'm fired up about it. I was a part of Valpo, the heyday when we were going to the NCAA tournament. And, obviously moving from the Horizon League to the Missouri Valley, which is a great league and a very competitive league. There were some things that needed to adjust. I think everyone's ready and ready. So, this time around, 7 years ago, I wasn't, and I didn't take the job, but this time around, I'm ready. So I'm kind of fired up. I kind of feel like I have some unfinished business, here at Valpo.
Jerome was just telling me you guys had a scrimmage the other day, and he said, man, we're between the lines and the referees, and they announced our names. He said, I got chills running down my back. It's a scrimmage. I mean, there's a new energy. There's a new excitement.
It is, and I love it. I love it so much, and I love the fact that, my especially the guys that are, came from a couple of years of struggle. I'm excited for them to have some success, and that's my motivation. My motivation is not being Roger Powell, the best coach ever, or getting more championship rings. Although I like getting rings, I got 14 of them, 16 years of college athletics. But my motivation is bring those experiences guys and pushing hard so that I can get them to see what winning is like through my eyes. Cutting down nets, going to the tournament, making runs in the tournament. I want them to experience it. So, that's my motive. That's my drive. And I think these guys feel that. And it's allowed us to have a connection pretty quickly.
You held just a couple of guys, are back, from a year ago. And so Valley fans know a little bit about Darius and Jerome and Connor. But the newcomers, they kind of don't know about those guys. Talk about some of your newer players.
It's funny because in the transfer portal world, I got 6 freshmen, and and they're really young, and we're doing things in practice, and sometimes they make a mistake, and my staff were talking like they probably never seen that before, so we can't expect them to know that. But I think that they're going to grow a lot. So freshmen like team, Canada, he's dynamic guard, really excited about his future. Sherman Weatherspoon is a guard that actually kind of grew up in the Gary area. We got it from out east as a prep school, but he has some Gary roots and tough guard, got a good size. I think those guys are going to really develop into some really special players in the Valley. Cooper Schroeder, 6'10" kid from we got him from Link Year Prep. Very under recruited because teams are looking for those transfer portal diamonds in the roughs. But this kid is talented, and I think people will see that pretty quickly. Once he starts playing, those 3 I think got a chance to be special, along with all my other freshmen. I mean, it's so many of them. I need to talk about all of them, but those 3 I think have kind of stood out as guys that I think will kind of make an impact right away.
Full disclosure, so Adam Donier is a friend of mine, and so when you guys signed Cooper, I did an interview with Cooper. Just a very impressive guy. His feet are on the ground. I mean, I liked him a lot.
Well, yeah, and Adam's amazing. He's what he's building there, and we're cut from the same cloth. He's a man of God. He knows I'm a preacher, and he's excited about the culture that he was able to send this young man into. So they have some talent, and hopefully we can kind of get a little pipeline coming from there. They keep giving us 6'10" versatile guys like that, man. We'll be all right at Valpo.
When you thought about your schedule, putting it together with a first-year program and all those young players, just talk about the strategy there and how do you like your schedule?
The schedule is competitive. I think we got a good amount of home games. We got some good teams we're playing against. I think some of the big games, going to play at Illinois and Virginia Tech are going to be a great experience for our players. But, Sanford and Elon's and, Green Bay and, those are going to be some tough games too. And I think it's going to be a great experience for our guys. So I think there's a good balance of some road games, some high major games and some mid major teams that I think have a chance to be pretty good. And so it's a challenge. It's not a cupcake schedule, and I don't like cupcake schedule. I learned from Coach Few. He always will schedule one of the hardest schedules in the country. So, I'm fired up to see our guys respond to it.
I know it's lunchtime, so I'll ask you one last question. The coaching at a school that at least is very open to the things of the Lord and faith-based kind of a school, and your background and your deeply held religious background, relationship with the Lord. Just talk about the importance of that in terms of you taking this job and being excited about it.
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to the foundation. I think foundations are important. I'm working with my guys on their foundations in life. Foundations help you get through rocky times. And if you have a solid foundation, you're going to be able to make it. And for me, my foundation was, college basketball coaching is not a career. I was in professional basketball. That was my career. God called me to go into college coaching and living my calling right now. And, Valpo is where that calling started. That's where the calling originated. That's where I walked away from my professional career. And I took a huge pay cut to step into my calling. And I think God has blessed it, all the different places, the winning and everything. So, to be able to come back to the place where the foundation, the roots were planted, my calling kind of originated, and coach for a place called the Beacons. I mean, just think about that. A preacher coaching college basketball at a place called the Beacons. I want people to see our light, and it's just so fitting. And it's and the stories that can come from the success we're going to have here being the Beacons and people seeing our light just gets me fired up to know that, man, God had a plan, and I'm living out my calling as a beacon.
Appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate where you're headed.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. That's head coach Roger Powell Jr. He's the head coach of the Valparaiso Beacons, and it's a brand new season for them. We'll see how that all plays out this year. We'll pause now. We've got more interviews coming. The Conference Men's Basketball Media Day in downtown St. Louis. For now, Harry Schroeder signing off at ValleyHoopsInsider.com.